All right, so Thursday Night Football, and it could be another test. Can the NFL repair its damaged image? No matter which side you're on, someone's going to be ticked off, right? To strategic communications consultant Lee Spieckerman, joining us out of Texas. I believe he's in Texas, in Dallas, right? Lee, good to see you.
I am.
The reason I was thinking of the box now the NFL is in is this commentator on ESPN who's been, sidelined for a couple of weeks had urged a boycott against advertisers of the Dallas Cowboys as a way for the owners or those sympathetic to the players about being forced to play by the owners and to stand, for example, during the national anthem. Yet various fan groups are urging a boycott of their own against advertisers because they're tired of this crap. What do you think?
Well, it just exemplifies a very sad state of affairs where the NFL had been, for most of its history, a unifying force for our country and for all races and all ethnicities and religions. And, for a lot of people that played football, it created an opportunity for white people and African Americans to interact, to have a common purpose, to get to know each other. So it's really been historically a source of racial healing, and now it's one more example of division in our country. And the NFL has got to take the lead on changing that. We saw the morning consult poll this morning that showed that the NFL perceptions there's a huge partisan divide. Hillary Clinton voters have a net positive view of the NFL. Donald Trump voters, there's been a major shift, and they have a big negative view.
So how do they bridge that? Because it isn't skewing exactly to political lines. Rush Limbaugh, I think a pretty conservative fellow, is uncomfortable with the president inserting himself in what NFL owners should be doing or saying. I think I got the gist of that, right? But that this is going too far. So what is the happy medium here? I know Commissioner Goodell is meeting with all the owners, I believe, next week. They got to iron out a policy that sounds like you can do whatever you want before the national anthem, but stand during the national anthem and stick to that. But not every player will. So then what?
Yeah, finally, Goodell is, as usual, behind the curve as he was on concussions, on domestic violence, on Deflategate. He has one heck of a record. I wish I could earn $35 million a year with that litany of mistakes. But that said, the NFL should adhere to the advertising maxim: if you don't like what people are saying, change the conversation. And I think the NFL should be giving its, what's its product? The product are the players. They are employed by the owners. They should do what the owners ask. The NFL handbook, the manual, actually requires players to be on the field, on the sidelines, and to stand at attention when the anthem is played. That's in the rule book now.
It is. Okay, because I have not seen the rule book, but someone said that the only thing required is that they be on the field, but if you're saying they have to stand for it. So that's in the rule book, and the employer, the boss says, I believe it, the boss says you have to stand, and you stand, right?
Well, you do, but on the other hand, the boss has to create a more progressive working environment. These players are talking about real issues. We have massive issues in this country of mistrust.
Yeah, but aren't they protesting national issues, not so much what the boss is doing with the team or treating players differently? Isn't their issue more about a national case against the treatment of minorities or what have you? So how can a team owner be addressing that? All the team owner wants to do is win games, right?
Well, Goodell's communications maven is none other than Joe Lockhart, who was a press secretary to Bill Clinton when he was impeached. He's a communications genius. And I think the NFL should take the lead in helping the owners devise programs that will deal with this issue. And I have two quick ideas. One is provide a platform for the players. One reason the players are kneeling during the anthem is they don't think they really have a platform to bring attention to this issue that they're very concerned about. So the owners can help do that. Number two, facilitate racial healing and reconciliation in each of these markets. Every NFL market has a significant African-American population. This is an issue in each of those markets. You talked about national. Why don't the players do it? Let's bring it local.
Let the players do it. They want to let the players do it too. Why is the onus on the?
The players can, but you know what? The owners, again, keeping in mind that football and especially the NFL has been a crucible for racial reconciliation in our country, for bringing everybody together. The owners should take the lead and help lay the tracks for that. They should be pushing and working with the players to facilitate dialogue in each community so white people and African Americans are talking to each other, not talking past each other. And football can do that. Its promotional power, the star value of its players can really be catalytic in that. I think Roger Goodell and Joe Lockhart ought to work on that.
Why can't they just play football? Get back to just play the game.
Because it's never just football, especially today, Neil. As you know, it used to be, but there are a lot of things. A lot of things have changed.
No, you're right.
Now things are much more politically charged. NFL is a big part of American life. Look, the NFL had a lot to do with civil rights and with people beginning to understand the importance of African Americans and white people working together, being seen together. That was very important in the 1960s and early 70s.
A guy named Muhammad Ali put a lot on the line personally himself.
He did. Now, he was a free agent. He didn't have an employer,
right.
so when he took a stand. But I really think the NFL teams in each community ought to be taking the lead, working with their players to facilitate dialogue with leaders, with average voters, and we ought to be having a lot more listening, a lot more talking. When you've got Tim Scott, a conservative Republican African-American senator from one of the reddest states in the country, South Carolina, getting on the Senate floor and saying that he has been stopped repeatedly because he's African-American, that tells you something's wrong. He's not exactly a lefty or a race baiter. And I have a lot of African-American friends, very successful people, and they constantly bring up issues that occur with them, their children.
Right.
This is not made up. These people have no incentive to make this stuff up.
I guess where you and I will differ is whether the professional football is the venue to do it, but we'll see.
It's a great platform. They've got the promotion. They've got the marketing.
Thank you very, very much.